Hey friends, welcome to a special interview with 3 automotive post-secondary students from the State University of New York at Erie. This is the college that I'm on the advisory board. Now you're going to like this interview. Refreshing to say, it's nice to hear from our future. If all goes to plan, they will enter the industry as technicians.
You know, it is wear and tear on your body and everything else. So I'm not really quite sure.
What would make you guys leave the industry?
Not enough pay.
Yep. Not enough pay, and you can't afford the tools.
Welcome, aftermarketers, to Remarkable Results Radio. Listen to learn just one thing from today's episode on your journey to remarkable results. Hey, Carm Capriato, the Aftermarket Podcast guy, with an interview with 3 automotive technology students who share their outlook on their schooling, salary versus flat rate, tools, their future, and so much more. I'm so glad to bring you such an array of guests and topics that help us all shape the future of the automotive aftermarket. You are sure to get an incredibly wide range of guests and topics right here on Remarkable Results Radio. You know, I just noticed that many Las Vegas hotels are offering great deals for Apex, but they'll go fast. Reserve now for the best rates. Go to aapexshow.com and click on housing. You'll find everything you need right there. Hey, don't miss the panel that I'll be moderating on the impact of consolidation on our future, opportunities and challenges. And if you earn your living in the aftermarket, Apex is for you. Don't forget, aapexshow.com. Hey, I sure hope you've downloaded a free podcast listening app for your smartphone, and if not, find many choices on my apps page at remarkableresults.biz/app. Hey, find the talking points for this episode on the show notes page, remarkableresults.biz/E470. Hey, you know, I enjoyed sitting with these 3 students at the college to hear them give their perspective on the industry, their training, pay, college debt, tools, and independence versus dealership opportunities. I'm with Travis Mawhir, Ryan Kostek, and Jarrett Laska. And as I said, a very refreshing view of our future. Hey, a warm welcome to 3 students. I'm here at Erie Community College, better known as actually the State University of New York at Erie, in the Vehicle Technical Training Center. Beautiful school out here in Orchard Park, New York. Welcome, Ryan Kostek.
Thank you.
Hey, nice to see you. And Travis Mawhir.
Nice to see you, Carm.
And Jarrett Laska.
Yep.
Nice to have you guys. So you're all at kind of different levels of your education here. You were telling me, Ryan, that you're in the first semester of your second year.
Yep.
Cool. Having fun?
Yeah.
Great. Travis?
Second semester of my first year.
Second of your first?
Yep.
Okay. You're a veteran too.
Yes, I am.
Love to talk about that here in a second. And Jarrett?
I'm in my second semester on my second year.
Okay, cool. So you're going to graduate this spring.
Yes, sir.
Guaranteed?
Yes, guaranteed.
Positively
Graduated.
So how is the science education and math part of your education?
It's very good. It was very good.
Easy for you?
Yes, very easy for me.
Cool, because you're going to get an AAS degree out of this, and that's why you have the liberal arts piece.
Yeah.
If you didn't have it, would you rather have more hours of tech training?
Yeah, it could help for me at least.
It could help for you. Okay.
Yes.
But you still are okay with taking the general ed stuff.
Yeah.
Good for you.
It does help with some certain skills, yes.
I think it's going to help in your future, depending on, you know, how far into the industry and your life you go. I mean, there's no doubt who would ever say that I needed to have algebra when I was growing up. And, you know, I probably occasionally have used it more than I ever thought. Mm-hmm. Amazing stuff. Hey, so, I'm curious, guys, what brought you to the school? What drove you? You guys that love to work with your hands?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm a CNC machinist right now, and I really enjoy working with my hands and figuring things out. But what really drove me to cars is the fact that you can actually touch something, fix something, and give it back to someone. And I think that's really interesting. And there's a lot more physical demanding positions, like moving around all day and actually working with different systems. Like with machining, it's just, you know, measuring and tool pressures and things like that. Whereas automobiles, you have HVAC, electrical, suspension, everything like that. So I think there's a little bit more to it.
You bring up an interesting topic. I talked to some guys in North Carolina a while back, and they were saying that there were companies ready to hire CNC machinists right out of high school and paying some pretty decent bucks and train them. Your prospects of coming out of automotive technology education and landing a job, what kind of starting pay you're hearing that you're going to have?
Well, at an independent shop I recently talked to, they said 13 an hour, but if you're starting off as like a quick loop tech, you're probably going to be getting paid here in New York $11.50.
Okay. So if you start not being a loop tech, but if you start, at a general service tech mechanic, whatever the job title is at the shop, $13.50 an hour, can you live on that?
Depends on your living situation. If you have a family, maybe you have to stretch it out. But if you're living alone and you're single, yeah, you can probably live on that.
Are you going out of here with debt?
Yes, I am. Student loan debt.
Any idea what that monthly payment's going to be?
I got a paper in the mail, maybe probably for 190 days or 190 months is probably going to be like $190 a month.
Think you can afford that?
Yes.
Have you gone for any scholarships in the industry?
Yes, I have, and never got accepted.
Never got accepted, but you did apply.
Yes.
Good for you. Travis, you have GI Bill, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, an exception to the rule here.
Yeah, a little bit.
But important to know.
The thing with my GI Bill is that if you were just coming right out of the military, this school would be paid for completely by your GI Bill. You have 36 months. So this program would be well under that 36-month time frame. It's just I've gone to other colleges and obtained other degrees. So after this semester, actually my GI Bill is going to be running out. So I need to come up with financing for my last year.
Got it.
So scholarships definitely going to be part of that plan for sure.
Let me go back to the CNC question that I had before. Mm-hmm. Can you get paid more being a CNC operator here in town?
It depends on what you're doing. If you're like a production machinist, where you're a very basic low level skill, probably around $13 to start off, something around there.
Wow.
If you're a little bit more advanced and you can actually use Master Cam, you understand geometry a little bit better, maybe $14, $15 to start.
Got it.
Within, and I'm assuming it's like this industry as well too. I don't know too much about the starting pays for here, because right now I work full time as a machinist. So I'm going to be exploring those options probably near the end of this semester to see where starting pays are at. But as long as in the machining world, if you're good, there's definitely money to be made relatively quick.
Okay, got it. Do you see yourself entering the automotive field?
If I can find the right company at the right starting price, yeah. What I would like to do is work full time as a mechanic and part time as a machinist. That's what I would really like to do.
Okay, a role reverse then.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I love that. Ryan, going to carry any debt forward?
Yeah, I'll be carrying a little bit of debt. I'm not really too focused on that. More focused on just getting my degree. This is really what I want to do.
All right, good. It's behind you. It's something you need to accept and move on. And let me throw my entire self into my education. Internships. Are you guys doing any of that right now?
I'm not.
You're not.
I did one over the summer at NFTA.
Okay.
It was a great experience.
Niagara Frontier Transportation Authority. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Were you working on small trucks, big buses?
No, I was working on the buses. We were doing valve adjustments,
okay.
Brake jobs, and we diagnosed in the exhaust how the I think it was
DEF.
No, that's the diesel exhaust fluid. I forgot what it was called already.
That's okay.
That's why I'm here, because I forget everything.
Excellent. I love it. There's so many acronyms to learn and know. I mean, he just brings up a great point, guys. There's so much to learn. I mean, think about where the technology is moving in automotive today. It doesn't matter. Trucks, diesel, you name it. Technology has embraced the mechanicalness of our vehicle over all these years. Are you excited, guys, about what's going on with tech?
I am. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to get into the auto industry. I feel like there's a lot more opportunities to learn more technology, more emerging technologies than if I was to stay in machining. Obviously, in machining, you have technology with materials and technology with cutting materials and software and technology in that regard. However, in the automotive industry, I mean, you deal with hybrids, you deal with electrical systems, you deal with advanced computing systems. And I feel like that would give you more of an opportunity to branch out and explore other things, just as long, as well as expanding your general knowledge base.
Ryan, in a recent lab, any vehicle come in that's got some pretty high tech stuff on it that you were amazed about?
No, not really.
Do we need more high tech vehicles here on the lot for you guys to work on?
No, I believe, as long as we're understanding the basics and the principles of how these systems work, it will be just fine.
Technology, Jarrett.
Technology is going to be a complicated thing no matter what. You got multiple systems of technology and they all basically run together.
Up for the challenge? I mean, when you guys are talking about this in classroom or seeing it live in lab, does it excite you, or are you saying, oh my God, I got to learn all this stuff?
It excites you, but then it's still, oh my God, I got to learn all this stuff, and it's going to advance, and then you're going to have to learn it again. Do
you guys realize that you're in such a high-tech field? I mean, I think the world's your oyster. You go out into the job market in the next year or two, study as hard as you can, be a perpetual student, continue to learn. Please don't stop learning. When you leave college, you're going to have to put 40 hours a year in to continually learn systems. Do you realize that?
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I really like this field. I like the perpetual growth, as you had mentioned. Also, every new technology is an opportunity to parallel that into something you never thought you could. For example, going to school here and learning the systems for an automobile, they directly correlate to machine systems. So at work, I run wire EDM machines, and I'm actually able to take them apart and figure out what's wrong with them and put them back together just from the information that I learned here. So I think that's a good parallel, because you can be an auto mechanic, you can be a machine mechanic. I mean, it's such a diverse field, and learning such emerging technologies that you can apply that to almost anything.
Ryan, love the whole thing of tech coming at you and your commitment to learn?
Yeah, I do. I really like the idea of just having to keep understanding how technology is advancing, and, it keeps your brain active. And also, like Travis was saying, it allows you to maybe, understand other stuff just outside of this field,
So, Jarrett, are you willing to commit to being a forever student?
Yeah, you're always going to have to be a forever student. No matter what career you're in, there's always going to be something to move forward on.
Well, that's a great point. It doesn't matter what career. I mean, we're being overtaken by tech, virtual reality, augmented reality, AI, artificial intelligence. I mean, it's all going to be part of your worlds.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have self-parking cars. So if you look at that, how many systems are working together and how many algorithms are being processed per minute? It's pretty ridiculous. And you think about it, I mean, those basic functions of what that microprocessor is doing, I mean, that is how robotics work. I mean, that's how you have, AI that learns its environment, and that technology is in the cars.
Hey, Carm here. The number one reason shop owners attend Apex is to see the very latest new products and technologies. And in my opinion, a close second is the opportunity to meet face-to-face with your peers to discuss issues and find new opportunities. And let's not forget how much fun it is to get together with friends in the industry, both old and new. Apex is the one place to see all the people, products, services, and technology that affect your business and your profits. Plus, you'll get to participate in the best industry training while you're there. In terms of value, you'll take so much more home with you than the cost of your trip to Apex. Now, mark your calendar now to attend Apex 2019. It's November 5th through the 7th at the Sands Expo in Las Vegas. To learn more, visit aapexshow.com. Hope to see you there. I forgot to mention instructor Vinny Laverty, who put this together. I thank him so much. And of course, our department chair here, Joseph Urwich. It's great. I've so wanted to do this interview, with some students here. So thank you for finding some time out of I don't know if you were in labs or whatever you were in. I believe colleges in the automotive field around the country are recognizing the opportunity to train more young people into this career. It is a big and budding. We have a quote unquote technician shortage in the industry. And I think any program that is serious about their continuation and success in the marketplace for their community are looking to say, how can we build a bigger place and how can we improve and get better and newer equipment and stuff. I think there's a groundswell of new buildings, new equipment, so that they can literally double the amount of students putting it through, because we've got more jobs out there than students that were graduating. Did you know that? Do you guys realize that we need you to join our industry and grow from the bottom up? Do you know that?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, especially I think one of the stats is for New York, I think the auto industry makes up 9% of the GDP of New York.
Could be.
And Google itself makes up 6% of the GDP in California. So if you think about that, I mean, the auto industry as a whole is, it's a monster. I mean, there's so much to do in the entire industry that, you know, with the baby boomers and what year it is now, I think we're looking at a big generational gap. So I think it's if you want to get into it, now would be a fantastic time to get into it.
So we've heard some stats about graduates that have gone out into industry, and everybody's got different stats, but there's some pretty bad ones out there that say after a couple of years, you guys decide to get out from, you know, repairing cars and to do something different. Have you heard any of those stats at all?
I never heard of the stat, but I honestly think about it every day. I'm a big guy, so we're already right here walking around. It already hurts my body on my knees. So after a couple of years doing this stuff, it's really going to be bad.
Okay.
And the technician shortage you were saying,
Yep.
A lot of people, they want to have that office job to sit down and like probably collect bills. Nobody really wants to do the hard work anymore.
But you just bring up a great point. You go through automotive technology, you go out and you start working and start applying the trade that you just educated from. Travis, it was you saying how big the automotive industry is the GDP in the country, multi-billion, $400 billion industry, huge industry in our country and in most every community. There's so many jobs. You could grow from technician to shop manager to service advisor to, you know, service manager, own a shop someday. You could go into parts. I mean, there's so many opportunities. And you're right. If your body can't take this, you love it, but you can take the seed of your education and further your interest and stay in the automotive field. We need all kinds of people and young people, because there's a lot of baby boomers out there that are getting ready to retire. To me, the exciting part of if you could look at the future opportunity, and I don't know if they talk to you a lot here at the college about this, lots of opportunities.
Yeah, there's always going to be opportunity in this field.
Thanks for bringing that up. How do you see the fact, do you hear anything at all, Travis, about friends that have graduated that they're gone, they're out, and they're doing something else?
Not really. I mean, ever since moving back here, my friend group really isn't that large, so I don't really know I don't have any friends that are mechanics, except for here. However, I think it's probably, parallel to any type of other mechanical position. It is wear and tear on your body and everything else. So I'm not really quite sure.
What would make you guys leave the industry?
Not enough pay.
Yep.
Not enough pay, and you can't afford the tools.
Perfect. It was my next question. Would you look for a shop that would support your tools, would buy all the tools, the main tools for the shop, the heavy duty scan tools, the test equipment, and you come in with a $8,000 basic set of tools and you could go to work instead of having to spend $15,000?
Yeah, I would definitely work at that place, because that's my main fear, is not able to afford all them heavy duty scan tools and all the basic special tools you need.
Yeah.
Well, because there's a lot of like compression tests, vacuum tests, all these very specific testing equipment and gauges and everything like that. It's like I don't know. Some of those things are $800,000 a piece, and if they had that provided for me, that would be a huge bonus.
For some techs, it's a mortgage payment.
Yeah.
And another thing is, with technology just continuing to advance, you're buying new tools all the time, expensive ones.
So you agree?
Yes.
Find me, get me. I'm going to look for a shop that says that my basic set will work. Provide me everything else.
Yep.
I mean, not everything else. There's maybe some exceptions but like all more like expensive tools that shops should own, like all the scan tools, basically like all the electronic diagnostic equipment, like maybe I don't know what to call it.
Oscilloscope.
Yeah, that I'm not very good at remembering all the equipment.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, because for like at my machine shop position, they expect you to have like basic hand tools, measuring tools, calipers, micrometers, stuff like that. But anything that's like really precision, like digital height gauges, gauge block sets, things of that nature where they had to be calibrated, and their specialty tools, they provide all that. And so if a shop had the equivalent in the automotive industry provided for you, that would be really nice.
So you come out of college, guys, with your 2-year degree, you find yourself an opportunity. Believe you me, there's all kinds of openings here in Western New York. Do you expect a mentoring program, a senior member of the organization you just joined, to walk you through, to help you, to teach you some shortcuts? Do you expect to be mentored?
Yeah, we expect to be mentored because coming out of the field, we're learning about all the basic stuff, but the more advanced stuff that the senior technician knows, they should like teach us some of it, and then we should get the help on repairing or diagnosing it.
Because you do know you will break things.
Yes.
Because
I do break things a lot. So
because everybody who's a senior mentor, oh my God, this guy knows everything. He broke a ton of things to get where he is.
Yeah, and you expect to mentor somebody else too.
Ryan?
I expect a senior mentor. Not so much as your job, but wherever you're at, the independent shop or the dealership or whatever you're doing, how that company operates, what you can do, what you can't do.
Oh, wait a minute. You mean you want the mentor to teach you the culture of the shop?
Yes.
What about, he sees you getting ready to do a timing job on a vehicle, and he knows that there's something you need to know the minute you get in there, and he wants to help you through that so that you don't make the same mistake he made?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that stuff too.
You want that too?
Bigger jobs.
Okay.
But, the little stuff that you should know going into the field, or at least have some knowledge of, they shouldn't really have to bother mentoring me about that.
In the case of mentoring, it's always a two-way street. If you have a mentor, you're not supposed to wait on him to come to you. You have to go to him or her. Uh-huh. You understand that part?
Yes.
So if you say, hey, is there anybody you go to your mentor and says, listen, I'm getting ready to do a set of brakes on a Mercedes. I've never done one before. Anything I should know?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I see your point there.
See my point?
Yep.
And why? Because you're a newbie. You just got into the industry, mm-hmm. and you want to do what's right and learn as you go.
Yeah.
I mean, mentoring is becoming huge in our industry because as the industry is looking to grow our own technicians, mentoring will be the way in the industry to do it. Mentoring. So I encourage you that whatever job you go out and get, to in your interview with that company, is to ask what their mentoring program is like. Who is the mentor? Tell me about that person. How many years they've been in the business? How many success rates have you had growing ATECs? And you don't become an ATEC overnight. You all know that, right?
Yeah.
You guys know that part? Yeah. Okay. Dealers versus independents.
Well, I don't really, like I said, I'm just getting into this industry. So as far as what I've heard, dealers versus independents, I guess the culture would be relatively the same. I mean, the culture could differ between, the same brand name, just between two different dealerships. So as far as dealer versus independent, I guess it's whether you want to work on a fixed brand with the most emerging technology, or if you want to kind of have a hodgepodge of whatever comes through the door. That's kind of my take on it.
Hodgepodge. You know that my audience is mainly made up of independents. And so they may appreciate the hodgepodge work. Yeah. I mean, they work on everything. They work on everything. And is that scary to you, Ryan?
No. Actually, when I first came to this program, I was more, had the idea I wanted to go to an independent shop, but because I knew what flat rate was, but the only thing I knew was that it worked against you. And then after my one class, service and parts management, Joe Urich, the teacher, he showed me how it can really actually help you. So any place that offers a flat rate payment system, I'd be a fan of.
You would be?
Yes.
Interesting. 80% of the independent aftermarket does not pay flat rate.
Yes.
And so you would be looking for a shop that pays flat rate.
Yes. I realize that most independent shops don't pay that. That's why I'm starting to lean towards more going to a dealership.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. How about you, Jarrett? What do you know about flat rate?
Flat rate, you got to work to get your money. They choose flat rate for a reason. It's because if you're on an hourly wage, you can possibly take your time with what you're doing and get it right. But with flat rate, you gotta do it as fast as you can and try to get it right. But that comes with experience and on doing it. You don't start off flat rate when you get out of the business. You start hourly.
I see Ryan smiling. I mean, I think he nailed it. If you start out on flat rate, you may starve.
Oh yeah, no, I completely agree with that. Just trying to gain a little experience. I'd much rather be hourly, but when I really gained experience and was confident about everything I'm doing, I'd want to be on flat rate.
You'd be looking for a flat rate shop.
Yes.
Or somebody willing to pay you on that production.
Yes.
I feel the same. Once you become proficient at something, that's when you can really make your money. I wouldn't even mind a system that, say they pay you hourly and you get become really proficient at, doing brakes and stuff like that. And then for those types of jobs, you were flat rate. I don't know if they, if it's a hybrid system or not, but that seems almost appealing to me too. Is like, okay, for the next 5 months, you're going to be hourly learning how to, diagnose electrical problems or computer problems. And then when you become proficient at it, then we can move you over to being a flat rate for those type of jobs.
So when you meet people and they say, hey, what are you doing? Well, I'm going to ECC and I'm studying to be a
Auto tech.
What do you say?
Automotive technician.
Mechanic.
Okay. Why mechanic?
I don't know, because I think I want to broaden out from just automotive. So I think what I'm trying to learn is the actual mechanics and how exactly everything works and how you can take those systems and tune them and make them better. And I think that's more of a mechanical thing than an actual automotive technician.
I see your side of that because you've got your CNC background. That's why you see that mechanic thing is almost a universal. I'm just give me anything and let me work on it.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I really, like I said before, I work too, like some of the wire EDM machines. I've had to take those apart and replace solenoid valves. I've had to work on the condensers on some for the chillers for the water tanks. And just from the information I learned here, I was directly able to apply it to that. So that's why I say I'm going to, for a mechanic.
In middle school, did your parents sit you down and says, now listen, Ryan, you're going to be a doctor or a lawyer?
No.
Okay.
No, my father was always like, go for the hard work.
Oh, okay.
It'll always pay off in the end. It's experience. That's all it is.
Regret the decision you made to come here?
No, not at all. Actually, before I was here, I was at Alfred University studying to be an athletic trainer.
Really?
And then I just realized, I don't want to be sitting at a desk all day and then watching games all day. I'd rather be working with my hands. And the thing I love about a trade is, depending on how hard you're willing to work, the sky's the limit.
That warms my heart. I love that. Wow. There's the soundbite for the episode right there. Wow. As hard as you want to work, the sky's the limit. Cool. Okay. So you came here, and if you wanted to work with your hands, why'd you pick auto tech? You could have gone construction, electric, welding.
My first truck, which also my first vehicle, I still got it. And when I got that, I was working on it all the time because it's 30 plus years old. And that kind of just, I always worked with my hands and stuff, but that kind of just sparked it for me. I wanted to be in the auto industry.
Well, you're a rare case. Here's a very young millennial?
99.
90. Okay. A very young person in the industry that has a 30-year-old car. I mean, that doesn't exist today anymore. I mean, back in the 60s and 70s and even 80s, everybody had, a 10 or 20-year-old car. But wow, interesting. So that drove you, hey, I don't want to sit behind an office. I've tinkered with the car. Let me do this.
Yeah. Yep.
Do you have an old car?
No. Well, depending on old. Well, before I had a 98 Blazer, which was
That's old.
well, not that old, probably about as old as me right now.
Yeah.
But I always wanted an old car, but around here you can barely find them. And when you find them, they're all rusted out. So I don't know where he found his truck, but he's lucky. The automotive field right now, it's basically a mix of everything that you can get. You got electronics, you have to machine, you have to critical think, you have to improvise, you basically have to teach. If you want to be a teacher, you can start with that. Automotive technology, you can help you with everything.
You're animated. He was pounding on the table when he was saying that. I love it. Wow. I see a leader in you someday because you have that passion. Same with you, Travis?
Yeah, pretty much the same. The one thing I like about it too is that you don't necessarily have to work at a dealership or an independent shop. I mean, there's like OEM calibrators. I really enjoy reading about tuning and calibrating motors. Those guys, some of those guys got their start in automotive tech as associate's degree, and then they moved on to mechanical engineering, or they moved on to chemical engineering, or whatever. And I think it's so interesting that you don't even have to turn wrenches. You can just sit there with a computer and read code and program things, and you're part of the auto industry because you're calibrating.
We are sure in a high-tech industry. Hey guys, Ryan Kostek, Travis Mawhir, and Jarrett Laska, Erie Community College here in Orchard Park, New York. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Carm.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being on board to listen and learn from the premier automotive aftermarket podcast. Until next time.